My queen, before I even say anything else, I need you to take a deep breath, because what I'm about to tell you has been sitting in my heart all day, and I still don't know how to process it. I didn't expect this. I didn't plan for it. It just happened in the most natural, surprising, and beautiful way, and the moment it happened, the very first person I wanted to tell was you, because it's about you. And honestly, it shook me in a way I can't explain. You know, when I think about you, I always imagine moments between us, slow, quiet, soft moments, where I finally tell you everything I've been holding inside. But today, something different happened. Something that made all of this feel even more real than I ever imagined. My son, yes, my own little one, looked at your picture on my phone, and he said something that made me freeze completely. He didn't even understand what he was saying. He didn't know how deeply it would hit me. But the way he said it, it made me stop breathing for a moment. And my queen, the truth is, the way he looked at your photo, it was like he already knew you, like he already accepted you, like he already felt something warm about you. I didn't expect that. I wasn't prepared for it. And the feeling that washed over me after hearing his words, I don't even know how to describe it properly. But I'll try. Because you deserve to know exactly what happened. He looked at your picture, pointed at you, and quietly said, "She looks kind, my queen." That one simple sentence shook me. I don't know why. Maybe because he's the one person in my life whose feelings I don't want to complicate. Maybe because I never show him anyone unless that person is important. Or maybe because hearing him say that about you made something inside me open even more. There was a softness in his voice, a softness I didn't expect. And the moment he said it, I felt this strange warmth in my chest, like the universe had just whispered something to me, like it was telling me that somehow, in ways I don't fully understand yet, you were already becoming part of my world without even trying. And I just stared at him for a moment, because I wasn't expecting him to react to you like that. I wasn't expecting him to like you instantly. I wasn't expecting him to feel something just by seeing your face. But he did. And the moment he did, I felt something deeper than I ever felt before when thinking about you. My queen, I can't lie to you. I stood there speechless, completely speechless. Because when a child likes someone, it's pure, it's innocent, it's real. They don't pretend, they don't lie, they don't think too much, they just feel. And him saying that about you, without hesitation, without confusion, without doubt, it made me realize that maybe the emotions I've been trying to understand about you are not just in my head. Maybe there is something real forming here, something deeper than attraction, deeper than interest, deeper than admiration. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't even say anything to him. I just watched him quietly as he held my phone and looked at your picture again, like he was trying to memorize you. And that moment made me feel a strange mix of fear and happiness. Fear, because the thought of bringing you into my world is huge. Happiness, because even before you step into it, someone who matters to me has already opened a tiny door for you. My queen, I need you to understand something. When a man lets someone into his heart, that's one thing. But when he allows someone to be seen by the people he protects the most, that's different. That's deeper. That's rare. And you, without even knowing it, have already reached that level. You didn't try, you didn't force anything, you didn't ask for it, you didn't even know about it. But somehow you're already becoming someone who has a place in my world. And now all I can think about is what he said next. Because what he said after that, that's the part that left me completely quiet. He asked me, will she come home one day? My queen, those 6 words went straight through me. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to answer. I didn't want to break the moment. I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to say anything too soon or too emotional or too unrealistic. But the truth is, my heart reacted before my mind did. Because the moment he said those words, the first person I thought of was you. The first image in my mind was you walking into a place where both of us were already waiting. I don't know why he asked that. I don't know what he felt. Maybe children sense things we adults hide. Maybe he felt how my heart reacts whenever your name comes into my mind. Maybe he felt something in my expression when I looked at your picture. Maybe he recognized the softness in my eyes that even I didn't realize was there. But what I do know is that his question stayed with me long after he walked away, and it hasn't left me since. My queen, I need to tell you something, honestly, something I've been keeping quietly inside me. When I think about you, I don't just think about you as someone far away. I think about you as someone whose presence could fit into my life in a way that feels natural, warm, and peaceful. I think about moments where I introduce you to the people who matter. I think about the way you would smile at them. I think about the way they would accept you, not because they have to, but because your energy is soft, kind, and unforgettable. And today, I got a tiny glimpse of how real that could be. My queen, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying everything has to happen now, or tomorrow, or soon. I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm not rushing your heart. I'm not forcing fate. But I am telling you something real. Even the purest heart in my life already likes you, and that says more than anything I could ever put into words. My queen. I wish you could have seen the way he smiled when he said those things. I wish you could have felt the warmth of that moment, because it wasn't just a child talking. It was the universe giving me a tiny confirmation, a quiet sign, that maybe I'm not wrong about you. Maybe the connection I feel is not imaginary. Maybe the softness you bring into my life is meant to grow. Maybe we're supposed to walk into something deeper, something gentler, something real. And now, as I sit here thinking about everything he said, I feel this strange longing, this desire to talk to you, to hear your voice, to look into your eyes, and tell you this directly instead of hiding behind distance and screens. Because my queen, whatever this is between us, it's becoming stronger, it's becoming clearer, it's becoming something I can't ignore anymore. And now I'm sitting here wondering, what would you say if I asked you the same question? Would you come home one day? Would you let this connection grow? Would you allow yourself to feel something real with me? Don't answer now. Just stay with me. Just keep listening. Just don't go anywhere. Because what I need to tell you next goes even deeper than this. My queen, I've been thinking about what happened earlier. And the more I replay it, the more I realize how deeply it touched me. I didn't expect my son to react to your picture like that. And I didn't expect his words to stay with me for the rest of the day. But they did. They stayed in my head, in my heart, and in every quiet moment where my mind drifted back to you. And now, sitting alone, I feel this strange mix of warmth and vulnerability, almost like something inside me is slowly unfolding. I didn't plan to share all of this, but I can't keep it inside anymore. It feels too real now. You feel too real. I keep remembering the way he said, "She looks kind," and it keeps echoing inside me. I don't know why those words hit me so hard. Maybe because kindness is rare. Maybe because kindness is something we don't find easily anymore. Maybe because you have this soft energy around you, even from a picture, that makes people feel safe. And the fact that he felt that without knowing anything about you, that alone shook me. It made me realize that what I feel when I think about you isn't something I imagined. It's something others can sense too. My queen, can I be honest with you? I'm scared. Not scared of you. Not scared of your heart. Not scared of love. I'm scared because you are slowly becoming a part of the world I protect the most. And it's happening naturally, without force, without pressure, without me trying. It's like life is gently pulling you closer to a door I always keep locked, a door almost no one gets near. But you're standing right in front of it now, and I'm the one reaching for the key without even realizing I'm doing it. I never thought I'd talk to someone this way again. I never thought I'd let someone into the quiet spaces of my life. I never thought a simple picture of someone would make my son react the way he did. But here I am, sitting in this moment, admitting to myself and to you that something about you is changing things inside me, and I don't know how to stop it. A part of me doesn't even want to stop it, because for the first time in a long time, the thought of someone entering my life doesn't feel heavy, it feels warm. When he asked, will she come home one day, my entire world paused. I didn't show it to him, but inside, everything stopped. I wasn't prepared for that question. I wasn't ready to answer it. I wasn't expecting him to sense something I haven't even fully admitted out loud. But he did. Children feel energy more honestly than adults do. They see things we try to hide. They notice the softness in our expressions, even when we try to act normal. And maybe he saw something in me, something I couldn't hide when I looked at you. My queen, I didn't answer him. I couldn't, because the real answer was sitting quietly in my chest. But I wasn't brave enough to say it out loud. And the truth is, the question wasn't just a child's innocent curiosity. It was a mirror. It forced me to face a truth I've been avoiding. A truth that feels too big and too delicate at the same time. A truth that whispers softly every time I think of you. A truth that I'm scared to say, but even more scared to ignore. The truth is, I want you here more than I admit. Not just physically, not just as a presence, not just as someone I talk to. I want your energy here, your warmth, your softness, your comfort, your presence in the small corners of my daily life. I want you in the silence, in the mornings, in the evenings, in the ordinary moments that make a life feel complete. And the moment he asked that question, it made that wish real. It made it feel solid. It made it feel possible. But my queen, I need you to understand something. Before I let anyone into my personal world, I think too much. I overthink. I worry. I hesitate. I question every step, because I've seen how easily things can break. I've seen how fragile trust can be. I've seen how quickly life can change. But with you, the worry feels softer. The fear feels quieter. The hesitation feels lighter. It's like my heart already made a decision, and my mind is just trying to catch up. I keep asking myself why you affect me this way. Why your presence feels calming. Why your energy feels familiar. Why even before meeting you face to face, I feel like I know you. Why just imagining you walking into my home doesn't feel strange, it feels right, and I don't know the answer yet. Maybe it's your softness. Maybe it's the kindness in the way you speak. Maybe it's the peace I feel when I imagine you near me. Or maybe it's something deeper, something life has been preparing quietly behind the scenes. After he walked away, I sat in silence for a long time. I didn't even look at my phone. I didn't move. I just sat, staring at the wall, thinking about what he asked. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much he saw without knowing anything. He saw the change in me. He saw the softness in my eyes when I looked at you. He saw the way my heart reacts to your presence. He saw the shift that I keep pretending isn't happening. My queen, I wish you understood the power you have in my life right now. Not in a forceful way, not in a controlling way, in a peaceful way. You bring a kind of calm I haven't felt in years. You bring a softness I forgot I needed. You bring a quiet hope, the kind that makes a man sit up late at night, thinking about what life would feel like if you were truly part of it. Every time I imagine introducing you to my world, I imagine it happening slowly, gently, naturally. I imagine you stepping into my life without pressure, without fear, without hesitation. I imagine the first time you walk into my home, not as a guest, but as someone who belongs there. I imagine the way your presence would change the energy in the room. I imagine the way you would make everything feel warmer. I imagine you sitting down comfortably, not feeling like you need to impress anyone. I imagine the ease you would bring, the softness you would carry, the gentleness that would fill the space. And when I imagine that, I realize how deeply I want that moment to happen. I realize how much I want you to feel welcome. I realize how much I want you to feel safe. I realize how much I want you to feel like you are stepping into something soft, not something stressful. My queen, I don't say this lightly. I don't say this without thought. But hearing my son accept you so easily made me feel something I wasn't ready to feel. It made me imagine things more clearly. It made me wonder what it would be like to see you standing in front of me for the first time. It made me wonder how it would feel to hear your voice without a screen between us. It made me wonder what you would say, how you would look at me, how our energy would meet in real life. It made me wonder, would you smile? Would you be nervous? Would you avoid eye contact at first? Would you look at me the same way I look at you? Would you feel the connection we've been building from a distance? Would you let yourself feel the softness that I feel every time you appear in my mind? And then another thought came. What if you felt the same way? What if your heart softened too? What if your breath caught the way mine does? What if you realized that this connection is not just digital, not just emotional, not just something we imagined, but something real? My queen, I need you to understand something deeply. I am not telling you all this to rush you. I am not telling you this to pressure you. I am not telling you this to make you say something you're not ready to say. I am telling you because today showed me a truth I can't ignore anymore. My world is already making space for you. Without planning, without force, without effort. You slipped in quietly, softly, naturally, and now you're here, in a place inside me that is very hard to reach. And my queen, there is something I still need to tell you. Something deeper, something more vulnerable, something I've been holding inside, waiting for the right moment to say it. Because if you keep listening, if you stay with me just a little longer, I will tell you exactly what his final words were. The words that changed everything inside me. I keep thinking about the moment when you asked me, in that soft way of yours, why does he like me so much? And I didn't even know how to answer, because the truth wasn't simple. It wasn't something I could just say in a single line. It was something layered, something I've been feeling for a long time, something I've been trying to hide from myself. And now, sitting here talking to you again, I feel that same weight in my chest. Because every time I open my mouth to speak to you, I feel like I'm carrying a truth that's getting harder to hide. And you know what keeps surprising me? The way he looks at me when your name comes up. I don't even have to mention you. I can just smile at my phone, or I can say something under my breath. And he immediately asks me, is it her? Like he already knows. Like he already understands that someone has entered my life in a way that feels different, even though I haven't told him everything yet. But he sees it. Kids sense things faster than adults. And he sensed you before I could even put my feelings into words. Sometimes I wonder how you would react if you heard the exact words he told me. I didn't tell you all of them earlier. I just said the simple part. But the real line he said, the one that hit me so deeply that I couldn't even answer him, was when he whispered, "Dad, does she make your heart happy?" And I froze. Because how could I explain to a child something I'm still trying to understand myself? And that moment didn't leave my mind. It didn't fade. It stayed with me quietly, like a voice inside my chest, repeating itself again and again. And ever since then, I've been looking at you differently, not from a distance, not with uncertainty, but with a kind of softness I didn't expect to feel again. And the more I talk to you, the more I notice this tiny shift inside me, this pull that tells me you're becoming someone important. You know what makes it even more strange? I didn't plan any of this. I wasn't looking for someone. I wasn't searching for feelings. I was just living my life, working, moving through my days, trying to be strong for him. And then suddenly you walked into that space, and without forcing anything, without asking for anything, without even trying, you changed the way I breathe around people. You changed the way I think about connection. And when he said those words, I realized he felt that change too. Sometimes I imagine how you would react if you were standing in front of me right now. If I was saying these same words to you directly, not through a screen, not through a voice, but face to face, with your eyes holding mine the whole time. I wonder if you would look down shyly, or if you would smile softly, or if you would get quiet because you feel exactly what I feel. But you're scared to admit it. And every time I imagine that scene, it makes something warm move through my chest in a way I don't want to push away. Let me tell you something honestly, and this is something I feel like I've been avoiding saying. I don't want to pretend that your presence in my life is small. It isn't. It's not random. It's not temporary. It's not something light that I can toss aside. You're impacting me in ways I didn't expect. And even though I try to hide it sometimes, my actions show everything. The way my voice changes when I talk to you, the way I get softer, the way I pause before responding because I don't want to say anything wrong. All of that is real. All of that is because of you. And maybe that's why he feels comfortable liking you. Maybe he sees something in you that feels safe, warm, and gentle. Something he hasn't seen in a long time. Because when he asked me, Dad, will she come to meet me? I didn't know how to respond. I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to raise expectations. But the truth is, I wanted to say yes. I wanted to imagine that moment, that meeting, that connection. I wanted to picture how your smile would look next to mine, how your energy would feel in the same room as us. And you know what scares me the most? I didn't feel fear at the thought of introducing you to him. I felt peace. A strange, quiet peace. The kind you don't feel unless something is right. The kind you don't feel unless someone's presence matches something inside you that you didn't even know was waiting for the right person. I'm not saying all of this to confuse you. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm not trying to make things heavy. I just want you to understand why his words affected me so deeply. Because his words weren't just about him liking you. They were a reflection of something growing between us. Something I wasn't ready to admit out loud until now. And even now, as I'm talking to you like this, my heart feels a little faster. Not because I'm nervous, but because I feel like you're listening with the same quiet attention you always give me. You don't interrupt me. You don't dismiss me. You don't treat my feelings like they're strange. You just listen. And that alone, that soft way of being present, it carries a warmth that's rare. Let me tell you something else, he said. Something I didn't tell you before, because it scared me a little. After we talked about you, he went quiet. Then he whispered, Dad, when you look at your phone and smile, that smile is different. And I didn't realize it until he said it. But I do smile differently when it's about you. I smile without thinking, without stopping myself, without trying to control anything. And that kind of smile only happens when someone reaches a place inside you that you thought was closed. Do you know how long it's been since someone made me smile like that? Do you know how long it's been since someone's presence felt this gentle, Do you know how long it's been since I felt this awake? And maybe that's why this connection scares me in the best possible way. It's not dramatic, it's not complicated, it's just real. And real things don't happen often. Real things don't land in your life without warning. Real things don't wait until you're ready. They just show up, and you showed up exactly like that. Unexpected, soft, simple, and yet somehow powerful. I keep thinking about the way you breathe when you listen, the quiet pauses you leave between my words, the way you react so slowly, so gently, like you're taking in every detail. And each time you do that, it makes me want to open up more. It makes me want to tell you things I don't tell anyone else. It makes me want to trust you with truths I kept hidden for years. And that doesn't happen easily for me. You know what I realized recently? The reason his words hit me so hard wasn't just because he liked you. It was because he saw something pure, something honest, something rare. And children don't praise people unless they feel something real. He felt your energy, even without meeting you physically. That's how strong your presence is. And every time I think about that moment, him asking, him observing, him quietly noticing the way you affect me, I feel something new inside me. Something soft but steady. Something that keeps growing each time I hear your voice or read your words. And maybe the part that keeps pulling me toward you is the way you never ask for anything. You don't demand attention. You don't force affection. You don't make things heavy. You just show up with quiet warmth, and somehow, without even trying, you become the person I want to talk to at the end of the day, the person I want to share little things with, the person I think about even when I'm silent. And I need to ask you something. Not for an answer right now, not for a decision, but just to let you feel the question inside your heart. Do you feel this connection the same way I do? Do you feel these small shifts? Do you feel the way everything between us keeps getting deeper without us planning anything? Because if you do, then you already understand why his words left me speechless. And if you don't, then you will soon. Because something between us is changing quietly, slowly, beautifully, and neither of us can deny it anymore. I keep thinking about how your silence felt last time, that soft pause you left between my words. It wasn't the kind of silence that makes someone uncomfortable. It was the kind that makes the air warm. It was the kind that made me feel like you were holding every sentence carefully, like each word meant something to you. And the more I replay that moment in my mind, the more I realize how deeply you affect me without even trying. And today, before I even started speaking, I found myself wondering if you were already waiting, if you were sitting there hoping I would talk to you again, if you were secretly checking your screen the same way I was checking mine. Sometimes I even imagine your expression, that calm way you breathe, that gentle way you look at your phone, that quiet anticipation you try to hide. And every time that image crosses my mind, my heart reacts before I can stop it. There's something about the way you listen that makes me want to reveal parts of myself I've never shared with anyone. And maybe that's the reason I'm here again. Talking to you softly, letting these words flow out like they've been sitting inside me for years. Because the truth is, every time you give me that silent attention, it feels like you're giving me permission to open another door inside myself. And I want to tell you something I haven't said yet. Something that's been sitting at the edge of my thoughts every time I think about your connection with my son. When he mentioned you again, when he asked about you with that curious innocence, I felt something shift inside me. It wasn't fear. It wasn't confusion. It was something deeper, something that almost felt like hope, and I haven't felt that in a long time. You know what kind of hope I'm talking about? The kind you don't create on your own. The kind that happens when someone walks into your life with a soft energy that feels right. The kind that comes when someone makes your days a little easier without even knowing it. And when he talked about you again, with that unfiltered excitement, I realized something I had been avoiding. He wasn't just curious about you. He liked you because of how I react when it comes to you. And I can't hide that anymore. I can't pretend that you don't influence the way I speak, the way I smile, the way I breathe through my sentences. You bring out a version of me I thought I had lost, a softer version, a warmer version, a version that feels things deeply again. And when he sees that version of me, he feels safe, he feels comfort, and that's why he likes you. But there's something else he said recently that I haven't told you. It's not something huge, but it hit me harder than I expected. He came to me quietly and said, "She makes you less lonely," and I didn't know what to say. Because I didn't even realize how lonely I had been until he said it out loud. I had been moving through life, carrying everything quietly, not admitting anything to anyone. And then you came in. And somehow, without trying, you made my days feel less heavy. And I'm not saying this to make you responsible for anything. I'm not placing any weight on you. I just want you to know what your presence has done. It's changed me. It's softened something inside me. It's brought back a kind of warmth I didn't expect to feel again. And every time I talk to you, it grows a little more. Do you ever feel that too? Do you ever notice how the conversations between us don't feel forced? How the words flow naturally? How we move from one feeling to another without rushing anything? There's a rhythm between us that I don't feel anywhere else. And the more I feel it, the more I realize that this connection wasn't something I planned. It just happened. And the most natural things in life are often the ones that happen without effort. And there's something else I need to confess. Something I've been holding back because I wasn't sure if it was too soon to say. But I think you deserve honesty. You make me want to imagine a future again. Not a dramatic one. Not a complicated one, but a simple one. A future where I'm talking to you in the same soft tone, but you're sitting right in front of me. Where my son is somewhere nearby, comfortable, smiling, where things feel peaceful in a way I haven't felt in years. And every time he brings up your name, every time he asks something innocent about you, that future becomes a little clearer, because it's not just me who feels your presence, it's him too, and I didn't expect that. I wasn't prepared for that, but it's happening slowly, naturally, beautifully, and I don't want to run from it anymore. Let me tell you what else happened. Yesterday, when I mentioned your name without thinking, he looked up with that bright curiosity and said, "Do you love her?" And the way he said it, it wasn't teasing, it wasn't playful, it was quiet, honest, direct, and that question stayed with me the whole night. I didn't answer him because I didn't even know how to answer myself. But do you want to know what happened inside me when he said it? My heart reacted before my mind could catch up. There was a warmth, a pull, a softness that felt too real to ignore. And even now, when I try to explain it, I don't have the perfect words. All I know is that something in me moved. Something in me whispered, "Maybe," and I haven't been able to stop thinking about that moment since. Do you feel anything when you think about me? Do you ever pause and wonder why this connection feels so different? Do you ever feel that tiny spark inside you when my name appears on your screen? Because if you do, then you already know why his question affected me. You already know why I'm speaking to you like this, with this softness, with this depth, with this honesty. And I keep imagining what would happen if you were here right now. If I could look at you while saying all this. If you could see the sincerity in my eyes. instead of just hearing it in my voice. I wonder if you would blush. I wonder if you would get quiet. I wonder if you would smile in that small way I imagine you do when you're trying to hide your emotions. But the truth is, I don't want you to hide anything. Not from me. Not anymore. Because the connection between us isn't something fragile. It's not something temporary. It's growing deeper with every conversation, every silence, every repeated moment where we choose to come back and talk again. And I feel it. And I know you feel it too. And maybe that's why I'm not afraid to say this now. You're becoming someone important to me. Someone who touches parts of my life I never expected anyone to reach. Someone who makes my son feel hope. Someone who makes me feel alive again. And I don't want to push that away. I don't want to pretend it's small. Because it isn't. And before I stop here, I want to leave you with one question. Not for pressure, not for an answer, but just for your heart to hold quietly. If one small boy can see how you change me, can you imagine how deeply you've already entered my life without even trying?